Hiya, I'm Leonie and this is Hendrix, and we live at our self-built home in the English countryside. Now I get asked all the time, how did I build in the countryside? So I'm going to give you all of the info. It actually took us 12 years to achieve the dream of living in our own self-built home, and 8 years of those were spent living in a caravan on site right there. But it wasn't easy, and people always ask how we got here. So I am going to tell you our story from start to finish. Now, it all started right here in this field. This was a 12 or 13 acre site where we kept our horses. It had a barn for hay, and that was all. So first of all, we got permission to build our first stable block. Now at this stage, I was just breeding horses. I wasn't even considering living on site. I lived in a flat in town, and it was about 20 minutes from here. Now this right here is the original barn, and this is where it all started. Now this barn just had hay in it. It was used to shelter the horses, for any machinery had storage, and it soon became apparent that we really needed to build some stables. So we did. I wasn't new to foaling. I grew up around it. My mum did it. We had foals at home. We had friends that foaled at ours. And it soon became apparent though that living away from the site where you're foaling is very, very different. So we applied for permission to live in a caravan on site, but we got rejected. So we went to appeal and we won. So we then got to live on site in a caravan. They gave us permission for 3 years to prove our business. And when I say foaling got easier, obviously it had its problems, but just being here was so much safer for the horses. And so our life began living in a mobile home. Now we bought the best one we could afford. It was very old, but it was a twin unit, and we gutted it and made it look so much better. Now I'm going to show you some psychedelic tiles that were in this caravan. It used to be a holiday home. So my top tip is that we got an electric one, and the price of gas canisters in these caravans is insane at the moment. So I'm very glad we went electric. But we had the best adventures in this caravan. We started our married life here. We had our child here. We had kittens. We even had puppies. So it was a magical time. As you can see, we're obsessed by animals. We've got them all here.
Something about me has changed. Something.
The year after we got married, we had Hendrix, and then we applied for planning permission to build a home, but it was rejected. We were told to come back in a couple of years when we could prove that our business was viable enough. Now, separate planning advisors told us that actually we had met the criteria at this point, but we thought we'd do what they said. We didn't want to take it to appeal at this stage. So we skip a couple of years and we are ready to reapply for planning. And we put in permission for a 2-storey modest home. Again, we were refused. So we went back to the drawing board and we put in planning for a bungalow. Now, I think the word bungalow needs rethinking, because bungalows can be amazing. Single story gives you the options, so many design features that you don't get in double story. So bungalow to me needs to be almost written out of the English dictionary. But we were successful and we designed it as part of a brick, part oak frame, and to look like a stable block, be really sympathetic to the countryside. And those plans finally got approved. Oh my gosh, our sigh of relief was absolutely huge. But guys, that is just where the adventure begins. Part two, I'm going to tell you all about the design and the build and what went wrong, and talk to you about moving into our new home in the countryside.